Back in 2010, I was caught driving a vehicle. I was 15 years old at the time. I was drunk. I was under the influence of drugs. Through the search of my vehicle, police officers found a loaded handgun with a few magazines and over 400 rounds of ammunition. At that time, I was taken to the juvenile detention center. So my second day locked up, I meet this guy, this white guy I've never seen before. He tells me about how good, God is and how powerful change is and how change is actually possible. The situation at the time was that a gentleman that was locked up with me was a guy that I would say we had conflict on the outside. In jail, it's all about respect. So he's making a big scene. He's, ranting and raving about how he's gonna fight me. So I tell Mike, hey, this is my problem. So Mike replies with, why don't you tell the kid that you're sorry for whatever you did and you wanna pray for him? Now, at the time, that sounded completely outlandish to me. Later on that day, we're in one of the activity rooms and he's telling me like, hey man, he's like, when do you wanna fight? I think about it for a second and I'm like, man, this is pretty much the time. Heat of the moment, I said, man, listen, I'm sorry, I don't want no problems with you. I'm gonna pray for you, man. I'm not trying to get in no trouble. And he looked at me crazy. Like, what do you mean you're gonna pray for me? I would say that it worked. We didn't have an issue. He turned away from the situation. And a lot of people don't know, but by the time I got released, me and him were both like reading the Bible together. So it was at that moment for me, I told God, I said, hey, I know you're real, and I know when no one else is there for me, you're going to be there for me. As I got out, I was able to stay connected with Mike and the Juvenile Justice Ministry, and I was really able to definitely see, I would say exponential growth, in a lot of areas of my life.
So, Second Life is a virtual world. You basically have an avatar, and you can do things. It's basically, you would socialize, you could buy stuff. It has its own economy and stuff like that. It is definitely an opportunity to talk to people and become more social. These Second Life Bible studies did so much for me. They helped me understand who the Lord is. Even though you're on a computer, it seems so personal. You speak to them. You can type also, but a lot of times you use your voice, use a microphone. And I think it's a prime outreach because there are so many people. And there's so many people, especially on Second Life, is a big thing. And for Youth for Christ to do that and to reach these kids, I feel that in some way, those are the kids that really, really need to be reached, because a lot of them go on Second Life for escape from reality. Their parents are abusive and they just want to talk to people and feel loved. If I didn't have YFC on Second Life, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know if I'd be lost.
I grew up with 6 brothers and sisters by 5 different men, and I grew up with a mother who had OCD and was very controlling and abusive. We were very fearful of her. When she wasn't happy and proud of us, that's when she wanted to take it to the next level and decide to put her hands on us as kids. I remember my sister putting her fingers in a Jell-O bowl, and she just stuck her fingers in there and made little handprints. And I remember my mom being upset about Jell-O, and instead of saying it was my sister, I told her it was me. And I remember she decided to make my brothers hold down my legs while she sat on my back, and she beat my rear until I couldn't sit down anymore, or I couldn't go to school for a week or so. I felt as if I was being punished by God. I used to see all these kids with amazing parents, and I didn't have that. I was invited to City Life by a very good friend of mine. She asked me, "You want to go to Bible study one day?" And I said, "You'll have to ask my mom," but I really wasn't too fond of it. I got a chance to go to Fall Weekend, and that year I accepted Christ with a VIT leader and my now discipler. I felt amazing. I didn't understand what I was feeling, but I did feel love. I got into a really bad relationship with a guy. I remember thinking I was in love, and I remember J-Mo asking me, "Do you think God's saying, like, this guy's good for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, J-Mo, this guy's amazing." But this person was cheating and using me, and I remember being so brokenhearted. I had to hit rock bottom to know, for one, God knows what's best for me, and that's when I became serious with Christ after that, because he was the only one there to heal me. When I was 19, I started to try to get my life together. Dre and Erica helped me find a job, and they also started helping me with money saving. I got a job at City Life Promotions. I am also working on my GED so that I can go to Ohio State in the fall. If I never found out or been invited to City Life, I might not be alive to this day. I don't think I would be able to handle any of the things I'm going through right now.
Even to now, today, I speak at the detention center. The reason that I do it and I continue to sow my time, and my effort into this program and into this ministry is because I know it works. It worked for me, and if it worked for me, I'm positive, that it's going to work for many more youth. And, this is the kind of programming, where you can really, really, really firsthand see lives transformed.
I feel that if YFC was not on Second Life, I wouldn't be strong in my faith. I wouldn't have a solid foundation. YFC was there to pick me up right when I needed it. Thank you so much for everything. You gave me the biggest knowledge in the world. You gave me the biggest gift in the world, and that was to know Christ. So thank you.
Dear God, I am just thankful for you bringing me these amazing people. Oh gosh. I never thought that you would love me this much. I never could have made it without you. Amen.